Okay, so Venice's Grand Canal turned neon green last week. Greta Thunberg, Extinction Rebellion, fluorescent dye everywhere. Someone had to talk about what happened here.
Dude, I saw the videos. It looked like someone dumped 1,000 highlighters into the water. Pretty wild, you know?
Well, from a practical standpoint, it was fluorescent dye. The data shows it's generally non-toxic, dissipated within 24 hours. But here's the thing.
Wait, non toxic? That's a great point. So the environmental damage was minimal?
Yes, but it's still illegal. UNESCO World Heritage Site, you can't just dump stuff into it even if it's harmless. They got fined €150 each and banned for 48 hours.
Wait, only 150 euros? That's less than a speeding ticket. I mean, for turning the Grand Canal into Mountain Dew, that seems.
Funny, Mountain Dew. But Mark, here's what's fascinating. They could have been fined up to 60,000 euros under Italian heritage protection laws. The authorities went easy on them.
Okay, but you know what I mean? The real question is, did it work? Did anyone actually care?
Let me think about that. The data shows millions of views within hours. So yes, visibility-wise, it worked. But, and this is important, 73% of Europeans are concerned about climate change, but only 28% approve of these kinds of disruptive tactics.
Oh, so there's a disconnect. People care about the issue but hate the method?
Yeah, that's kind of the problem, isn't it? Like, I care about climate change, but when I see them dyeing Venice green, I'm just like, ugh, really? You know?
Well, that's the strategic dilemma they face. From a practical standpoint, disruptive protests increase media coverage by up to 600% compared to
600%? Wow. Okay, so it works for getting attention. But does it actually convince people to do anything?
That's the question, right? Let's dig deeper. Sarah, you mentioned the disconnect. Are they alienating the very people they need to convince?
possibly. I mean, the data suggests that when you alienate the public, you lose broad-based support. But, there's also this radical flank theory where extreme tactics make moderate proposals seem more reasonable by comparison.
Okay, but hold on. Wasn't Venice already sinking? Like, isn't this the perfect city to protest at because it's literally the poster child for climate change?
Yes, that's a great point. The irony is Venice prosecuting people for highlighting the very crisis that's threatening Venice. Some projections say the city could be uninhabitable within decades.
True, but from a legal standpoint, UNESCO designations carry international protections. Italy's cultural heritage laws are among the strictest in Europe. They can't just make exceptions because the cause is.
Wait. So you're saying Venice is drowning because of climate change, but they're arresting the people trying to save it? That's that's kind of messed up, you know?
It is messed up. But here's what's fascinating. If authorities allow exceptions for environmental protests, what stops other groups from saying their cause justifies vandalizing heritage sites?
Exactly. That's the slippery slope argument. Let me think about that. From a practical standpoint, you can't have everyone claiming their cause justifies breaking heritage protection laws.
Okay, but Sai, I'm just saying, if my city was literally sinking into the ocean, I'd probably be more worried about that than some green dye that disappears in a day. You know what I mean?
Fair point, but Mark, this wasn't just Venice. It was 10 Italian cities simultaneously. Turin, Bologna, Milan, all dyed green on the same day.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. So it was like a coordinated thing?
Yes, it coincided with the end of COP30 in Brazil. The timing was strategic. The data shows this creates a bigger media impact than isolated protests.
And Greta being there, that's what made this blow up globally. She's one of the most recognizable faces in climate activism.
Yeah, totally. Like, if it was just random activists, we probably wouldn't be talking about it. But Greta, that's news, which I guess proves their strategy worked.
Worked for visibility, yes, but, and this is critical, governments are responding with stricter laws. The UK's Public Order Act, similar laws across Europe, they're cracking down on protest rights.
Oh, wow, so there are consequences beyond just the immediate fines? Let's dig deeper. What kind of precedent does this set?
Well, from a practical standpoint, if dumping harmless dye justifies banning activists from entire cities, where do the limits on government power end? Civil liberties organizations are worried these laws.
Wait, so they're worried about like authoritarian governments using these laws to shut down any protest, not just climate stuff?
Exactly. That's a great point. These laws don't just affect environmental protesters, they create tools that can be applied to any dissent.
Ugh, that's actually pretty scary when you put it that way. Like I was joking about the Mountain Dew thing earlier, but this is actually serious.
It is. The data shows, we're seeing a pattern where climate activists are being treated increasingly harshly, and the question becomes, does desperate urgency justify dramatic tactics, or does long-term success require, building broader coalitions?
And that's the debate, isn't it? Here's what's fascinating: neither side has a monopoly on legitimacy. Venice is genuinely threatened by climate change, and UNESCO protections serve crucial purposes.
So so what's the answer? Like what should they do instead? I'm just saying if dramatic tactics alienate people but quiet protests get ignored, what's left?
Let me think about that. From a practical standpoint, maybe the movement needs nuanced strategies that recognize not all tactics work equally well in all contexts, you know?
I think that's where we have to leave it. The tension between urgency and strategy, between awareness and alienation. No easy answers here, folks.
Yeah, I guess not. But like at least we're talking about it, which was kind of the whole point of dyeing the canal green in the first place.
True. The data shows we're having the conversation. Whether that translates to actual climate action, well, that's the question, isn't it?